Well, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Buckeyes Battle Cry. Of course, Peter and Rob with you tonight to talk about the Big Ten Week 3 and all that was in college football. We're not going to beat around the bush, man. Wisconsin and Bama happened, and it was a beatdown. Give me your general thoughts. Why did Wisconsin get trounced?
When I was first watching, it was in the first quarter, it was pretty close, and then Tyler Van Dyke got injured, and from there it was we all know the rest. Alabama started pouring it on because
Yeah,
Wisconsin couldn't produce drives, which made their Wisconsin's defense tire out, which was doing pretty good at the beginning of the game. They're making stops, being able to get off the field, getting their offense on the field, and so yeah, pretty much it was when Tyler Van Dyke got injured, it was pretty much over. Alabama's offense just poured it on. Ryan Williams had another sensational game. He's making he's a man amongst boys. He's making everyone else. He's pretty much making that secondary look like they didn't belong. Um, you know, and of course Jalen Milroe put on a show. It looks like I think he has a good chance to be a Heisman finalist. I mean,
interesting.
he final score was what
40,
42-10,
42-10.
and it was pretty much over at halftime. I think what it was at 27
It was bad.
to 7 27 to 7 at halftime. Uh
Um,
but
I remember
you
that.
know, and dude, like the Alabama defense is looking pretty stout as well. They always have good edge rushers. They always have good edge rushers.
We do.
Um, you know,
Wisconsin's not the same that they were. Obviously, when Van Dyke went down, I mean, it was over. I mean, Wisconsin went to the portal because they had nobody in the quarterback room. And once he went down, and he's out for the season. By the way, he tore his ACL, so Wisconsin's season is effectively over. Unfortunately, before it got started, and Wisconsin would have won that game with Tyler Van Dyke at quarterback anyway for the Badgers. It might not have been quite as bad because obviously Wisconsin did have a lead, but Wisconsin would have gotten blown out either way. But yeah, Wisconsin, Alabama's a team to be reckoned with, and I'm excited to see what they got in the future. But transitioning to the Nebraska game, Dylan Raiola, man, after 3 performances, 3 weeks, the dude is the real deal. He's arrived on college football scene, and it would have been great to have him in a Buckeye uniform. But what do you think about Dylan Raiola? Is he the future of Nebraska? Will he lead them to the promised land, as in terms of a Big Ten title game?
for a freshman QB, he is making some unreal throws. He's looking like he belongs. But let's pump the brakes on the best Big Ten quarterback. He's looking like it right now, but who have they actually played? Colorado is looking overhyped as usual, even though they beat up on Colorado State. Um, but I will say that even though Dylan Raiola is a diva, he can back up his talk and complaining with his play. I know he's thrown on average per game over 250 yards. He's thrown like 2 to 3 touchdowns. I'm pretty sure his completion accuracy is above 75%. He's making Patrick Mahomes type throws, but let's pump the brakes. You know what? I think their first real test. I mean, of course they're gonna. You know what? I think they're gonna come to Columbus undefeated,
Okay.
and then it's gonna be like a back to reality.
Do you think it'll be like the previous ranked versus ranked matchups that Ohio State's had with Nebraska, like a total beatdown, or do you think Nebraska will hold themselves to a respectable level?
It depends, man. What type of game plan is Matt Rule going to call?
Sure.
What type of is Dylan Raiola going to be able to keep the composure that he's been able to have during the first 3 games?
Yeah.
Is he going to make good decisions? I mean, we're talking, and who knows? Maybe it'll be a night game. You know, the shoe it's really hostile. It's really loud at night. It's not exactly the easiest.
Sure.
The easiest place to play, and it's a long ways away from the cornfields. So,
Yeah.
um,
Well,
and plus, you know, we'll see if he can rise to the occasion as a freshman. But you know, he could, you know, after looking at their schedule, let's look at their schedule.
well,
So,
Rutgers is their only tough test before Columbus. I have
they
Rutgers as an 8-win team.
they do have. I mean, isn't Indiana doing pretty good?
Indiana's off to a hot start.
Yep. So they have Indiana. We'll see how that goes. But their first real test is against Ohio State
Yeah.
in Columbus.
Yep.
And the time, it says that the time is to be determined. So again,
Oh yeah.
if it's at night, Ohio State's gonna have the crowd on their side. It's gonna be
Yeah.
again, it's gonna be a hostile environment. And quite frankly, you know,
Well,
maybe Dylan Raiola will be up to the task. Maybe he won't. Only time will tell. I want to see more. I don't want to automatically, you know,
no.
deem Dylan Raiola the best Big Ten quarterback. I don't want
No.
to deem him
Dylan
as, oh,
Gabriel's still better.
he's gonna be a future first rounder. So
Well,
first eye test will be Ohio State.
here's what I want to see. I want to see him play a competent defense. You know, he is a true freshman still, and the thing of the matter is, he's gonna face some elite defenses in the Big Ten. That's what the conference is known for. And so, will we see the same Dylan Raiola? He's showing poise. He's showing leadership now. But will we see that same QB when the road gets tough and when things get challenging for the Nebraska Cornhuskers? So that's what I'm looking forward to seeing. Moving on to the next topic. Did Oregon turn a corner? The Oregon Ducks shellacked Oregon State. Is Oregon a team to be reckoned with?
You know, you brought up a good point. You know, it was in our group message that a good amount of Oregon State's players left with John L. Smith. So I would pump the brakes on saying that they turned the corner. They just played a not so good Oregon State team. You know, but also, you know, they should have blown out Idaho State. They should have been able to handle Boise State pretty well, but they had to come back. So you could say that. I mean, you could say that they could turn the break. They could turn the corner, but you could also say that they played a really easy team. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, what's hard to figure out about Oregon's performances are that Dylan Gabriel is putting up absurd stats. Like he's moving the chains, he's moving the ball down the field consistently, and he did that again versus Oregon State. But the thing that got my attention, and I'm not ready to buy into Oregon has turned the corner. I want to see them play once again a competent team, but they finally did to a team what they were supposed to do to a team. They looked like the Oregon that we expected to see this year versus inferior competition. Now we'll see how they perform once more when the schedule gets stiffer. You know, we come to Eugene on October 12th, the week before Nebraska. So back-to-back potential big games for Ohio State. So that'll be a test for the Buckeyes. But yeah, that'll be interesting.
And here's another thing about Dylan Gabriel. We got to remember the system that he played in before he came to Eugene, and that was a defensive-minded system of Brent Venables. So it didn't, like, if I remember correctly, I don't think it was as high-powered as the Oregon Ducks offense. So maybe he's still trying to somewhat learn the offense, be able to groove in it, and fully thrive. it looks like he's hitting that stride. But I agree. Let's see what he does against Ohio State, because that's their next test. We can't count UCLA because they're a complete dumpster fire. We can't count Michigan State. John L. Smith, first year head coach. They're looking better, but I wouldn't say they're actual competition yet. Notice the commonality with Nebraska and Oregon. They have to pass the eye test by going up against Ohio State. So that just tells you what caliber of a team Ohio State is really going to be this season, which they've already so improved. So
Yeah, without question. Tougher tests lie ahead for both the Huskers and the Ducks, and we'll learn a lot more about them once they play some quality competition. Our last topic we want to hit tonight is the Michigan quarterback situation. The Davis Warren experiment has not gone well through 3 games. They are pulling the plug, and they really did in the Arkansas State game, giving the reins to Alex Orji, announced just yesterday. What do we think? Is that going to make a difference? Will he install energy and confidence in the Wolverine program, or is this a desperation move for Michigan?
So, seeing how Davis Warren did against Arkansas State. So there's this meme that said he had a perfect completion, and not all those completions were to his players. So I'm pretty sure he had 2 interceptions, and what did he wasn't he 5 for 5?
He was 11 for 14, and then he had 3 picks. And so not a single one of his passes hit the turf.
Nope. Not one. I mean that's a good time to pull your quarterback, especially after seeing the first 2 showings. I mean, against Fresno State, not well. Definitely against Texas, not so well. I noticed that they really had to rely on their ground game against Arkansas State, but then again, it's Arkansas State. This week they have USC. Now, I will say that they didn't exactly go to an upgrade. It's picking, who's not as bad as the other. It's not that there's no separation of Davis Warren is okay and Alex Orji is great. It's like, okay, which one is better than okay? I mean, which one is better than bad? I mean, Davis Warren has been bad. So, and plus, if Alex Orji, if they had this much confidence in Alex Orji, he wouldn't have been seen as just some distraction in the Fresno State game. He was just standing by coach. They were wondering, like, defense, like, okay, when is he going to come in? Is he going to run the ball? They're going to pass it, and just like he didn't really play. So again, they're playing a USC team that has a big chip on their shoulder and defense, better than the past couple of years with Alex Grinch at the helm of the defense, and their offense is looking really good. I mean, Miller Moss, Zachariah Branch, who else is there?
I don't know his name, but number 4, the wideout, he's really fast too.
Yeah, but Michigan better bring their A game. I mean, as of right now, Alex Orji could do well, but I just don't think it's going to be through the air. I just don't. He's not. Remember what I said? He's a poor man's Tim Tebow without Urban Meyer, which means he has nothing. He doesn't. It seems like right now Michigan is lacking an identity. They talk so much about identity, how we're this team culture, and we're ground and pound, but we haven't really seen that. They tried to run, they tried to throw. What are they going to do with Alex Orji this Saturday? Are they really actually going to put the game ball in this dude's hands after showing he couldn't do much against Fresno State? I don't even think he got in against Texas. And I mean, did he do anything against Arkansas State? Because I saw they had over 300 rushing yards, which
Yeah, he was 2 of 4 for passing versus Texas because they installed him for the last like 2 drives for Arkansas State, and he had a deep ball that was way off the mark, far too long. His receiver kind of stopped running, and it went about 4 or 5 yards past him. But yeah, no, I mean, I don't see them coming out with a pass-heavy offense either. They're going to have to run the football to try and win this USC contest. I really don't see the Wolverines winning this. And it's not because I'm such a believer in USC's defensive improvement. I am a little bit, but I still need to see more. It's because I have so little confidence in Michigan's offense to perform, even under new leadership at quarterback. I think the Wolverines continue to struggle with the same things they've struggled with through 3 contests so far. And I said on last night, Team Rivalry Pigskin Showdown, go check that out if you haven't. I think in a couple games we'll see Jack Tuttle because the Alex Orji experiment will also have failed. So that's my prediction. I don't know if it's going to happen or not.
Speaking of that show last night, what was everyone's prediction for the Michigan USC game?
So the Nebraska fan, surprisingly, he had some good reasoning, but he actually went with Michigan 27-24. Garrison, I think, was 28-17 USC, and I was 35-17 USC.
Oh, so, wow. You think it's gonna be that bad? You know what? I have USC pulling it off by 6 or 7 points.
Yeah, I think it's a real possibility. I hope you. I told him, I said I think USC will do worse to Michigan than Texas did, because Lincoln Riley is one who never calls the dogs off. He always goes for the stats and the killer shot. And having the defense he's had all throughout his career, he's one that keeps the pedal to the metal. He does not call off the dogs ever. So
and this is gonna be, because I'm calling my shot with this. This is gonna be the name of the game. Can Michigan's offense keep up with Lincoln Riley's high-powered offense? That's gonna be the name of the game. It's gonna be who can score the most points. Who's gonna score the most points, and it could possibly be who can have the ball last. Because remember, Peter, I texted you and Matt again when it was USC versus LSU, and I said LSU gave them the ball back with way too much time. It was 2 minutes, 1:30. That's how fast Lincoln Riley's offense can strike. So can Michigan keep up with it? Because if not, it's going to be another long afternoon, late afternoon, Ann Arbor.
It's going to be rough, and that's what I'm predicting. I'm kind of with you. So yeah, we both have USC winning. Hey, for the Buckeyes, our perspective, bye week is finally over. We can celebrate, although I wouldn't say a Marshall game is anything to look forward to all that much. But at least Buckeye football is back. Another beatdown is incoming for the Thundering Herd, and we'll be back to break that one down for sure. And then, of course, join us on our live on Thursday night at 8:30. We'll be back here, but we'll see you guys on that one. Take care and have a good night now.